Hi. How's it going? What's happening? Fucking boo! We begin today's episode with Team Rocket fixing up their Magikarp submarine, and Meowth is over the moon at the prospect of having free clams for dinner. Hang on. This is the Pokemon world. What are clams? James tells Meowth to use Payday, and Meowth explains that he puts so much energy into learning to talk that he just can't learn Payday. Well, not with that attitude. Now granted, it is a pretty flimsy way of explaining why Meowth can't use its signature move, but at the same time, if it could use Payday, then Team Rocket would have no reason to be Pokemon thieves, so it would kind of break the entire anime. Well, the Team Rocket bit at least. Meowth and Jessie discover James's most very extra special favourite limited edition vintage bottle cap, and whilst I'm not a particularly big collector of anything myself, I can normally understand why someone would want to collect things. But bottle caps, mate? Really? James has a boring hobby. Pass it on. They spot Ash and friends off in the distance riding on Lapras, and for some reason Lapras's chin, which is normally the same cream colour as its neck, is blue, like the rest of its body. I know, it's picky, but let's face it, you lot would have whinged if I'd left it out. Team Rocket reveal themselves to Ash and friends, but before they can do anything, their Magikarp sub starts to sink. So Ash then takes the opportunity to send out Squirtle and get it to use Water Gun to blast off Jessie and James, and then Meowth right after. Attacking unprovoked against an opponent that's already clearly in danger? That's not very protagonisty. Oh no. Furries. Oh no. So basically the people on this island believe that on this night, the great Meowth of Bounty will appear and bestow great wealth upon them. Listen, ignoring the fact that these people are clearly batshit, whenever they say Meowth of Bounty, I obviously know they mean a Meowth that brings great wealth, but my mind can't help but shift towards a Meowth that's just a really big fan of coconut coated in chocolate. And before you all come at me, I don't care if you don't like Bounty, because I do. All that means is that come Christmas time, when someone cracks out a box of celebrations, you guys have to share your favourites, whereas I get all my favourites to myself. That is called winning, ladies and gents, and everyone in between. When Meowth lands on this island, the islanders bring him to their, I guess it's like a shrine thing, because they believe that he's the prophesied Meowth of Bounty. They present him with a feast, but it's all real world fruit. Come on guys, pineapples, apples, oranges, pears, watermelon. Would it have really killed the animators to put some Pokemon world fruit in there, like, I don't know, orange berries?
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find berries weren't introduced into Pokemon until Generation 2.
You say that, but this episode was released in Japan in May 1999, and Gold and Silver came out in November 1999. So I'm betting that when this episode was being made, they absolutely would have known about berries in the Pokemon games. Even if they were the weird Gen 2 berries, like the Mint Berry or the PRZ Cure Berry. Also, how does this feast not have any meat? If I ended up on an island like this, where the people thought I was a god and nothing had been killed in my honor, I wouldn't feel very special at all. Alright, hang on. If these guys are supposed to be so religiously dedicated to Meowth, why is the guy on the right wearing Gatomon gloves? I guess even in the Pokemon world, Digimon are the champions. Pass it on. Alright, who's done this? Which cheap bastard snuck a bloody lettuce in among all these fruit? Who the hell wants a fruit salad with a side of iceberg lettuce? I'm just saying, the lettuce is looking pretty sus. Something else looking pretty suspicious is the amount of people who haven't clicked like on this video yet. Did you know one of the best ways to support this channel and ensure that WTF Moments continues to make episode after episode, week after week for years to come is to hit the like button, share the video on social media, and of course leave a lovely comment down below. If you're struggling to think of a good comment, just leave something generic like,
Meowth's having a really bad day, and lettuce in his fruit salad is just the tip of the iceberg.
And if you're new here, thank you for giving my channel a chance. Please hit that subscribe button so I know you're enjoying the content and so we can climb higher in this horrible YouTube algorithm, and of course turn on all notifications so you never miss an episode. Direct quote from Meowth.
I'm in trouble, and I don't even have Jessie or James to blame.
And whilst in the English dub this is just a regular line, it's worth noting that apparently in the Dutch dub, Meowth doesn't say that he's in trouble. He says, and I'm gonna butcher this,
Ik zit in die shit.
which I am told literally translates to,
I'm in the shit.
Meowth, mate, what's your fucking language? When Meowth realizes that he's being worshipped by these people, he figures he's probably onto a good thing and ends up scoffing on fruit until the morning comes. Notice that the lettuce has gone though. Each to their own. He then starts yelling that he doesn't have any meatballs up there. Thank you! How are you going to show praise to someone without meat? I whip my meat out every time I want to praise Sophie. Obviously, if the person doing the praising is vegetarian or vegan, it'd be a different story, but this is basically a cat we're talking about. Mate, they brought him 100 meatballs? That's like my heaven. What Pokemon do you think they're made of, though? My money's on Tauros, but I reckon Snorlax would be pretty good too. You know what? Initially, the idea of being stranded on an island where the islanders obsessively worship you like a god would be cool at first, but would probably get pretty tiresome. But now I can see the benefits. That seems like it would be pretty bearable. Also, look, anime fans, if you absolutely have to simp over cartoon characters, can it not be these lovely, very obviously adult ladies, yeah? See? You don't have to be all weird and fantasize about Misty or May or any of the other children in this show. Full disclaimer, I'm not calling out all anime fans, but I think all anime fans will agree y'all got some creeps out there, haven't you? Look, I'm just saying, if you apparently used so much energy to learn to talk, but still was able to learn to play the guitar, which can be pretty bloody tricky, then I reckon you've got it in you to learn Payday still. Stop being a dick and help your friends get rich. As Ash and friends close in on the island, Meowth gets worried that he's going to get exposed as a fraud and orders the islanders to get rid of them. It's then revealed that this giant golden Meowth statue is in fact some kind of rudimentary robot and is the Meowth of Bounty guard. Mate, these people are so concerned with wealth and with riches and they've literally got a giant golden robot. Just sell it, you'll make a mint, lads. The golden Meowth runs Ash and friends off the island, quite literally, and they decide to give up and go find somewhere friendlier. What? This isn't like Ash and friends. Usually when something like this happens, Ash would be like,
there must be something hidden on this island and I'm gonna find it.
But today they're just bailing. Our protagonists are apparently a bunch of pussy bitches. Pass it on. After Ash and friends leave, it's revealed that Jessie and James have washed up on shore. When asked if he knows them, Meowth not only denies it, but also says that they'll bring the island misfortune and that they need to be gotten rid of. Mate, with friends like this, well, you'd be dead, I suppose. The main two islanders approach Meowth and say it's time to begin the bounty ceremony. That ceremony being where the Meowth of Bounty will use Payday and bring a bounty of coins so plentiful it will usher in a new age of wealth and happiness. Mate, do you even know how Payday works? In Gen 1, Payday scatters coins on the ground equal to twice the user's level. So even if this Meowth is level 100, you'd still only get $200. And if you're splitting that between everyone on the island, how is that bountiful wealth? Screw your heads on, lads. Just build some rafts, travel to one of the other orange islands and get yourself some bloody jobs, you lazy bastards. Meowth starts trying to make his escape, pretending he has something he needs to do first and telling everyone to start without him. But the giant robot Meowth blocks his path and lifts him up into the air. I'm just saying, for people who don't actually know this Meowth's a fraud yet, this behavior seems pretty hostile. Surely you'd want to be a bit nicer to something you think is a god, wouldn't you? Legit, it just tries to start shaking the coins out of him. Mate, what if he actually needed perfect concentration to be able to use Payday? You'd absolutely be buggering it up right now. Patience is a virtue, lads. The old guy decides that Meowth must just not have used Payday for a very long time and needs to battle and gain some experience so it can learn to use Payday again. I mean, it very much sounds like you're suggesting that Meowth battle until it learns Payday. But the only way that Meowth could learn Payday via experience and therefore through level up is if it was already under level 17. That way it would learn Payday once it hit level 17. But like I mentioned before, if it uses Payday at level 17, that's $34 between you. Even if Meowth wasn't totally lying to them, this seems like a terrible plan to base your entire life around.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find the idea is that they believe the Meowth of Bounty is a special Meowth whose Payday pays out more money.
But based on what? It's not like this Meowth of Bounty thing has ever happened before in recorded Pokemon world history, so where have they even got this idea from? Who wrote this cockamamie prophecy and where are they now? They've got some explaining to do. As Jessie and James watch the islanders drag Meowth to the stadium where it's going to battle, we get this direct quote from James.
Meowth won't learn Payday no matter how much experience it gets, because you can't teach an old cat type new tricks.
I mean, technically James is right, because even if Meowth did know Payday but just forgot it, there's no way for it to learn Payday via level up ever again. What these people need is a move relearner. But more importantly, James mate, what the hell's a cat type? Oh yes, how could I forget the Generation 1 Pokemon types? Normal, Ghost, fighting, psychic, flying, ice, water, grass, fire, dragon, electric, ground, rock, bug, and poison. And cat. Direct quote from Meowth.
Wow, I got a lot of people to disappoint.
Sounds like me every time I upload. The Islanders send out a bloody Nidoking to battle Meowth. Mate, that seems like overkill, doesn't it? You could have started off with something a little less deadly, like Kakuna or something. After Nidoking chases Meowth round in circles for a bit, the Islanders all dive to the floor to check if Meowth has dropped any coins yet. Not being funny, lads, but it's a bit early, innit? Like, surely if Meowth had produced a significant number of coins, I think you'd spot them without having to crawl around on the floor. It's not looking good if you've got like 50 people crawling around on their hands and knees just trying to find one coin, is it? After that, they send out an Onix to fight Meowth. Chill out, lads. What's the point in sending out a Pokemon that Meowth can barely damage? You need him to win battles, so stacking the deck like this isn't going to help at all, is it? Jesse and James watch on as Meowth's punishment continues, and we get a little montage of their time together, and it reminds us of one of the Pokemon Anime's most important facts. Team Rocket, as a trio, are the anime's best characters, and if you disagree, you are objectively wrong. These three characters make the show so much better than it could ever hope to be without them, and this is a great reminder of that.
Hey, do you remember when we all almost drowned together?
Such good times.
From out of nowhere, a coin smacks Onix in the forehead, making it drop Meowth. We find out moments later it was thrown by Jessie, but mate, the arm she must have on her to hit Onix clean in the forehead from that far away. Jessie is hench. Pass it on. As more coins start flying in from the entrance to the stadium, the Islanders all go crazy thinking that Meowth has used Payday and rush in to gather up the coins. But has nobody thought to look at where the coins are coming from? Like if they were appearing from thin air, then fair play, but they're all coming from the same direction, specifically from within the darkness of the stadium entrance. Surely that's got to raise a few eyebrows. James doesn't have any money to throw, but thinks maybe his gold bottle caps will do. Mate, just go out and hand a bunch of these to the villagers in exchange for Meowth. Gold bottle caps are worth like 5 grand a pop. When Jessie goes to leave, James asks why they're not getting Meowth, and Jessie points out that Meowth will do better as a big hero here than as a loser with them. This is proof that Team Rocket are better people than I am. I would never let a friend screw me over, then use my hard-earned money to help save them from trouble and not expect anything in return. That is very protagonisty of them. The Islanders pour all of the coins into a giant bowl and ask Meowth to rule them, and Meowth spots one of James's bottle caps within the pile. And look at the size of it! I know Meowth is smaller than James, but even so, imagine the size of the bottle that needs a cap as big as this. It's no wonder they're subsank carrying that around. James, you've got to find a more practical brand of beverage, mate. And I know just the one. It's G Fuel! Yes indeed, G Fuel is an energy formula with barely any calories, zero sugar, and lots of energy within. Not to mention it's in a ton of amazing flavors like XQC's The Juice, which I am drinking today, and you can use code ACE to save yourself 10% off your entire G Fuel order. Oh, that is so jazzy and tropical and lovely. Get yourself some G Fuel today and use code ACE for 10% off. Just remember, G Fuel is for over 18s only because children do not need caffeine. They are annoying enough as it is. And of course, because it contains caffeine, just drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead. Direct quote from James.
Ah, well, Jess, it's going to be a lot tougher pedaling that submarine with just the two of us now.
It's going to be even harder when you consider the fact the submarine sank earlier in the episode. It's buggered, mate. You'd be lucky getting it anywhere. And I bet you regret whinging about that Seadra boat being pedal powered in the last episode now, don't you? Mate, Meowth is really lucky that he decided to make the decision to talk out loud about all of his regrets and how he wishes that Jessie and James were there so he could apologize for what he did. Imagine if he just thought it. They'd have left him behind. Sometimes it pays to be an anime character that needs to make sure the audience can follow what's happening. The Islanders all beg Meowth not to leave. Lads, you've got the coins now. Why are you bothered with Meowth anymore? I feel like you'd have mentioned by now if the prophecy said the Meowth of Bounty was going to use Payday more than once, so I feel like you don't have any plans for him to use it again. You should focus now on distributing this wealth to the people and forming a society where the people at the top have the biggest portion of the money and where the people at the bottom have bugger all and constantly struggle to make it through daily life. You know, just like everywhere else in the world. The guy with the Gatomon glove says the happiness of all their people depends on Meowth staying. Mate, you lot have managed this long without this random Meowth being here. I'm pretty sure you can all find happiness without him again. Like, come on lads, you've got got birds wearing next to nothing on your island, and all you're worried about is whether this Meowth will stick around. Sort your priorities out. Direct quote from Meowth.
You think I'm supposed to be this great cat, but I'm just a big rat.
Meowth, mate, this is the Pokemon world. What's a cat? And what's a rat? Meowth talks about his friendship with Jessie and James and how he's realized that having them was his real happiness. I'm not crying. You're crying. Jessie and James finally show themselves and Meowth asks if they're still mad at him, and Jessie says of course they are, but they're still his friends. This isn't really a WTF moment, but it's something that some of you out there really need to learn. If someone does something you don't like, it's alright to be mad at them, but you don't always have to end a good friendship over just a little hiccup. Whenever you have a disagreement with a friend, talk things out like adults, and you'd be surprised how quickly things get sorted out. As Team Rocket leave with Meowth in their submarine, we get this direct quote from the two main islanders. Please don't go! They have done. We cut back to Ash and friends, and I've got to ask, is the blue part of Lapras's fur and we just didn't realise? Hear me out. At the start of the episode, Lapras's chin area was blue. Then from that point on, it went back to being cream, and now it's blue again. Does Ash shave Lapras's chin when we're not looking? Like, is the blue we're seeing on Lapras's chin right now basically Lapras's equivalent to 5 o'clock shadow? Answers on a postcard. I mean, don't actually answer it, because obviously it is just an animation error. Ash questions why the giant Meowth wouldn't let them on that island, and Misty says it's probably because that island is only for cat-type Pokemon. Mate, we've been through this. What the hell is a cat-type Pokemon? Cats don't even exist in this world. Pokemon, I've told you before and I'll tell you again. Study your own franchise before you write your show. This is embarrassing. Jessie and James both decide that maybe getting Meowth to battle to gain experience is the key to getting him to learn Payday. And so Jessie sends out Arbok and James sends out Weezing to battle with Meowth. First of all, that's 2-on-1. That's not fair. Secondly, we don't even get to see Arbok or Weezing because the episode just ends. Yeah, the closest we got to proper Pokemon battles in this episode was a single Nidoking horn attack and basically a one-sided Onix assault. Cheers for the cock tease, Pokemon. Honestly, still my biggest pet peeve of this show. Can you imagine an episode of Spider-Man where he doesn't fight any bad guys? Exactly, it'd be nonsense. So those are my WTF moments of Pokemon Season 2, Episode 16, Meowth Rules. Let me know your favourites and any that I missed down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Head to twitch.tv/AceTrainerLiam for all of my live streams and use code ACE for money off G Fuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.